Coach, who will wear
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. And leading them, Charles, their quarterback, their field general.
And what I enjoyed watching this week when we had a chance to watch them at practice, the easy camaraderie that he has with his offense.
A lot of respect.
A lot of respect, and frankly, I thought it spilled over to the defense. I thought the defensive guys were coming over and teasing and joking with him. You can tell they respect the heck out of him and really want to play well for him.
First down throw, McNabb. Right side caught by Jackson. And a juke this time. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there at 22.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
Now a play fake here on first down. Man open, that's Terrell Owens. Still going. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season-open opponent, and they had a
and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Zach Ertz, 27 yards. And the Eagles drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Robbie Gould on for the extra point. Gould able to tack on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays, and it was capped off by an Eagles touchdown. Gould now out to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. Leading the charge under center will be their 6'5" quarterback Carson Wentz.
Not only does he look the part, he plays it as well. Tall, prototypical-looking pocket passer with better athletic ability than what people think. Gets outside of the pocket and makes big plays downfield.
Play action. Now Wentz. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Javon Curse in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10.
Didn't have the greatest field position to start, did they? And now after this sack, it's way, way worse.
And right off the bat, first play of the game. On play action, Wentz. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Let's go! 1-9!
They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. Heck of a broken tackle and able to work this down near the 23. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 2nd down, Williams. And down inside the 15 he goes. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
On 1st and 10, McNabb. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Terrell Owens, a 14-yard touchdown. And the Eagles add on to their lead.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. Gold now out to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, I guess we just discovered that someone is certainly not going to sit back and just take it in this game, huh?
No, they were trying to get that touchdown back in one shot.
One shot, trying to help out his defense and let the other team know they were coming after him.
On play action, it's Wentz. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Fletcher Cox forcing his way through there to drop him for a loss of a good 10 yards.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that. Got his man complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That goes as a gain of 36 on 3rd down.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin as it is Cowboy football to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. Just like that, out of danger and up past the 40 now for 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Flushed out right. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for third down. And prior to this 3rd and 2 play, we're going to get a timeout call. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. On third down, that's Austin, and that play will go nowhere, losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 4th down.
There's another example of why they haven't scored any points so far. I think it's time to abandon the run game, spread things out, and go to the air. It certainly can't be any worse than what they've done so far.
Here's Wentz to throw. Incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. So shall we say a bold decision to go for it, and that bold decision does not. Philadelphia getting set to take the field.
And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, with the play calling, they're locked in really well.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. Here's McNair, and he checks this one down to Williams. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Here we go. What? 90.
On first down, it's McNair. That is caught inside the 5. And he is into the end zone. Touch.
Somebody call for the queen.
I never killed anybody, but I got something to do with that. I got the streets on my back, carry it like I'm moving them. I told him to 100, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning, skipping school, that's a truancy about it. I made me some rest in the morning, I had me a pop by the morning, I had me some breaks by the morning, I had a six by the morning, I got on a meat on the morning, rats keep me up on the podium, I had a in my shoulder, you got a picture me, Pacific ice, I'm an ocean, ready for war like I'm Russian, ladies should never look luggage, my diamonds they tussling, my neck and my belly, they calling for me and they, you want me like me, you know?
It's the second round of the Madden Ultimate Team Playoffs. It's the coach in Orlando as we get you set for the NFL on EA Sports. Between our visitors and the Dallas Cowboys. So with that, let's head over to the heart of Texas. Massive AT&T Stadium in Arlington. On the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis with you from our broadcast perch. And, Charles, as we get this thing started, what are you going to be keeping your eye on?
Special teams. Field position is always a big determiner in a ball game. Who sets their offense up for success the best, that team will win the game.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by the veteran quarterback, a multiple-time Pro Bowler. It's, of course,
player had 210 consecutive starts in the NFL before missing one in 2017. And when you have to deal with him in the playoffs and a Super Bowl's on the line, Eli Manning's at the top of his game.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. A first carry for the Hall of Famer, Barry Sanders. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
And there's the first carry of the game from Barry Sanders. His burst, his bounce, absolutely iconic. That guy moves in directions most people aren't able to do.
Career rushing yards are crazy, over 15,000, and the only player with 5 1,500-yard seasons. Just incredible. Right back to it on first down. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley run. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Throw left side, completion to Rice. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one goes for 24 yards. So the first catch for Jerry Rice, always fun to talk about. His career stats, Charles, they're so good. He leads in so many categories that we can't even get to them all.
Yeah, what do they say? He combines ridiculous statistical supremacy with crazy longevity. How about this? Most receptions, yards, touchdowns, just to name a few of the accolades along the way. Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
They run with a Hall of Famer, Sanders. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
And it's caught. Touchdown. Calvin Johnson, a 14-yard touchdown. And this offense takes the ball down the field and scores on their opening drive. Well, that's how they envisioned it, get the football to start the game and score it.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. They'll be led out by their 6'5" quarterback out of North Dakota State. It's Carson Wentz.
And not only is he blessed physically, this guy is the quintessential gym rat. Cannot get enough football. In fact, during his rookie season, when he was charged with being the guy who brought the food to the quarterback meetings early, and they would often start at 5 in the morning, he always beat everyone else to the building and was ready to go before the rest of the guys arrived.
Now they try the right side here. Up past the 25 to the 26, a gain of 5.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
They've got a 2nd down and 5 here to start things out. Now a handoff looking right. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. An ideal start defensively. They already have the touchdown. Now they get the stop.
Just like they drew it up on the chalkboard. Does that sound dated? Right? Am I out of touch a little bit?
It's all right.
All right, grease board, heck, computer, exactly what you want, though. Score on your first drive, stop them on the first drive defensively.
And this is going to be incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And it'll be a turnover on downs. So, Charles, why in the world do you take that risk there?
It doesn't make a whole lot of sense on the surface. But I've been around enough of these coaches and enough of these meetings along the way. Sometimes they're so confident in a play call that they don't care about the situation. They think that that play, at that time, they're going to run it and pick up whatever they need.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Jonathan. Halftime report. Manning the throw on 2nd down. That's complete right around the 8. And he's into the end zone for the receiving touchdown. Jerry Rice, a 15-yard touchdown grab. And his guys are going to add on to their lead.
Jerry Rice in the end zone is a sight we are sure used to seeing. Not only does he have the most receiving touchdowns in NFL history, he was also the fastest to get to 100.
It took him, I think we've got it here, 120 games to get to 100. Just staggering.
A staggering number, but you have to remember with Jerry Rice, it wasn't just great hands. It wasn't speed. It was the collective, the work ethic to prepare, and the route running that was second to none.
The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a 1st down.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Ivory, and he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. The safety Ed Reed there to make the play.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. They run with their short yardage man, Ivory. A great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps him pick up the 1st. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
I haven't met a football team yet that runs the ball successfully that doesn't talk about having an attitude to be a running football team, right? You got to be able to put your nose in there, smell where the 1st down sticks are, and get there.
The linebacker, Anthony Hitchens, there on the stop.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old-school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And prior to this 3rd and 2 play, we're going to get a timeout call as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this 1st half. So 3rd and 2, this quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. Throwing now is Wentz. Looking for Pryor long. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by a former Cowboy, Deion Sanders. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the 1st half. Final play of the 1st half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. 1st half in the books. And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the 2nd half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's Carson Wentz now with the rest of his offensive unit heading onto the field. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the 1st half.
Well, normally we say, want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the 3rd quarter. Play clock down to 5, and they're going to burn a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter.
Come on now. Come on now. Let's go.
And they'll go on the ground. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. And that's going to leave him with just 1 timeout remaining still in the 3rd quarter. We'll see if that comes back to haunt him. We'll be back. Another run. This time it's Ivory. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Danico Autry is in on the stop.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Third down, here's Ivory. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up fourth down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Here we go on fourth down with Wentz. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked up by a former Cowboy, Deion Sanders. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but
there he goes, right side. And touchdown. Eli Manning with his third touchdown pass of the afternoon. And that interception key as it leads to the touchdown. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
Now they try the right side here. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
On third down, it's Austin. 9 yards on the carry, but it's going to lead to a fourth down.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on fourth and short. Yet I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for
it. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on fourth down. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth.
It's 4th and 2, and you know the defense is going to stack the line of scrimmage. So you have to be definite about your decision about where to go.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And they'll run it here. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down. The Cowboys on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They face a third down now as they try to find a late score. Now a handoff looking right. And he'll get across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down.
We've seen this offense go for it on 4th down already on this drive. I wonder if they'll go for it again.
I certainly wouldn't rule it out with these guys. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Now Wentz, got to have this one. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by a former Cowboy, Deion Sanders. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the second half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive.
And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too.
No doubt about it. They're excited about where they are in this game.
This is Sanders. And he'll get this up to about the 40. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves him with 3rd down and just a yard to go. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college, and it happened in the NFL. The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee, and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November. Well, that's the play you work on each and every week. Your offense taking a knee at the end means you've won the ball game. But how about the defensive effort? A shutout. Pitching a shutout. They're going to feel great about themselves.
They're going to feel really great about themselves. A big goose egg on the scoreboard. Nice job defensively.
Yeah, I say dinner on the defensive coordinator tonight.
Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5 all the way down at the 2.